How is it going, everyone? Welcome to more Need for Speed ProStreet. I'm a moron for still playing this game at this point, but yeah, I need to seal the deal. Like, if I don't beat it, I'm not gonna feel like I'm done with it. So I'll try hard the last day remaining, which is essentially the one before the Grip King. So yeah, I'll try that. I don't know how, but I'll figure out a way to win. That guy Ray Krager, I don't know how you will pronounce it, but yeah, that thing. But yeah, before reaching that guy, I need to beat this thing on Willow Springs, and it has shown to be a real pain in the ass. So the first thing I'm gonna try is with the Sonda as it is, and then we will see alternatives, because it wouldn't be working. At least last time I tried, it really didn't work well at all. So I'm gonna try now. I mean, you basically need 41,000 points. That's the issue. Like, that's a lot of points. I guess differently from what I do usually, I'm just gonna do them in order. Whether I win or not, it's irrelevant. I just want to see how many points I get from each, because since they are 6 events, you essentially need an average of like 6,500 or something like that. So if I could get that, that would be great. But there is basically one big issue, which is that guy Rudy Chen on that Porsche, and apparently that Porsche is, I don't know, like, it's the real final boss of the game, the real threat here, because it goes inexplicably fast. Like, there's not much you can do with it. I mean, it's not a problem in races like this one, because at worst you can just block him before he overtakes, but the problem is in the other events where it actually matters how fast you do the sectors and the race itself, right? That's the real issue here. But yeah, as I say, I want to do them in order and see how it goes there. It's probably gonna be a waste of time. Well, then again, playing this game is already a waste of time as it is, but it's fine. I'm not concerned about that. Wow. But yeah, that's the problem with this car, and the reason why it cannot really compete here that well is because unfortunately it really sucks on slow corners. Like, it just cannot do well enough. Also, these are 4 laps, really? I only realized now it's 4 laps. Damn. That's wild. So, I just realized something. I mean, will be an interesting theory, but what if it's the ABS or something like that that is slowing me down? I mean, it's obviously what's making it so I don't lose control, so it's not like it's slowing me down for no reason, but maybe disabling it will give me good results. I don't know. Seems that the one that is working the most on this car is the traction control. I guess if there's anything that is slowing me down, it's most likely that, and not the ABS. Well, the ABS gets triggered sometimes too. The one that you see lighting up the most is the traction control. Like, that one is tweaking, well, it's like, it's basically, yeah, lighting like crazy. So I'm even afraid, yeah, that's the issue. Using the nitro anywhere in this track is asking to die. And another thing that it's a little bit messed up is that the target time, it seems that I'm not really gonna get a good bonus out of it, so even winning this race won't really give me a good amount of points at all. That's an issue. Well, maybe I could disable all 3 of the racing aids, like basically just try going commando, but no, I don't think that's a good idea with a car like this. Like this car, I think it's those racing aids are the only thing that it's keeping it back from yeah, doing weird stuff. That's basically when all of the time I might have gained on the previous sectors of the track, it goes to shit, because I just lose a lot of time. But still, I feel like it's weird that the target time is so tight. Was it like that when I tried this with the GTR? I feel like it wasn't like this. Will be wrong. So, did I even do this with the GTR? Well, I probably had to. And not to mention that being long tracks with 4 laps, it's also surprising that I'm not beating the target time by a lot more. But we will see, guys. It's very inconsistent what the game tells you that is the bonus points that you get for beating the target time. So maybe this gives me a lot of points, I don't know. Does it? Nah. Team, that's terrible. That's actually terrible. Damn. I don't know what to think about that. Not even 6,000, and that was winning, by the way. Okay. Good start. I gotta say, amazing start even. Surely this is gonna go very far. Damn, that's wild. Because assuming that I get that amount of points on every other thing, like imagine I do 6,000 on all 6 events, you get 36,000, which is not enough to reach 41,000. That's wild. Actually wild. Also, how is it going, Wasabi? Thanks for the heads up, but I'm not very interested in award thingies, you know, I'm not... I don't really like the concept of awards. Like, I appreciate it, but no thank you. I dislike all type of awards, like the Game Awards, the Grammy Awards, the Oscar, whatever concept of awards you can name, I dislike them. Just don't like the idea of awarding something at all. I think that the award is the experience in itself, you know. Ooh, this is the track that has the wall so close. God damn it. Maybe the target time is this low because I'm using the Sonda. Maybe the target time is not that bad if I will use another car. Maybe that's the issue. Like, maybe I could get more points if I actually just use the GTR. I love the intro. Are you sure? Well, if you say that I would like the intro, sure, but yeah, I'm still not. I mean, I could watch it later, I guess, but I'm just not interested. Well, not just in awards, because I mean, I dislike awards in principle, but I also don't like community events in general either. Like, that's a separate thing. Like, my dislike for one is different from my dislike from the other. Like, my dislike from awards, as I said, it's a matter of principle. I don't like awarding something, you know, just because, right? I find that it's a stupid concept. And community stuff, I simply don't like it because I don't like community. That's because I'm very asocial, right? I'm very reluctant to associating myself with communities. But yeah, it's basically a double strike for me. But yeah, I still appreciate the heads up. Just the way it is. Fuck, dude, I cannot even drive this thing properly. But the main issue here is that winning here is worthless if the bonus time that you get from the target is so shitty. Like, that's just not enough no matter what. Is there a way to see the target time before you enter the event? I don't think there is. Because I would like to enter this with the GTR and see how the target time looks like, right? I think you will have to fully beat it to see it. Well, for the time being, I'm gonna keep going with the Sonda and then we will see. Like, you know, better to do it that way. You know that yesterday for the drift events I checked the reason why I did the drift events in the first place is because I checked which one was the best car to do drift, and it turns out it was the RX-7, and well, I got the RX-7 and I beat everything almost effortlessly. I wouldn't say fully effortlessly, it took me a little bit of effort, but pretty much it's all about the car pick and nothing else. So I also checked for grip events, which ones they recommended, and it seems that it's a mixture of the GTR, which is the car I have, the Lamborghini, which I also have, and the Porsche 911 that I don't have, but I could get. I think I do have enough money to get it. But the problem is that I'm not really sure why they recommend the GTR in the first place, because, like, yes, it is a fantastic car, it's one of the only cars that drives well from the very beginning, but it does not have enough power. Like, unfortunately, it would be amazing if it had, but it just cannot do much. It does what it can, but what it can is simply not enough, you know? So I'm not sure how to make it work with that. And then the Lamborghini is basically a worse version of the Sonda. I'm assuming maybe they don't recommend the Sonda because it's so expensive, so they will expect that most people that will be looking for recommendations will not have the money required to buy it. Much less the money required to maintain it every time that it hits something and it needs to be repaired, I guess. So maybe that's the reason, I don't know. But the point is that, yeah, to use the Lamborghini I will just use this Sonda. So at that point, the only thing remaining to try will be the Porsche. But I don't know. Something tells me that if they already recommend the GTR and it has the issues that it has, I doubt that the Porsche is gonna be anything different. I mean, you're seeing here with the sun that I'm basically obliterating everyone effortlessly, but that doesn't really work on the sector shootout events, because the sector shootouts just work in a very shitty way. And even if they didn't, the problem is still the same one, that is that the target time is very picky and I barely get any bonus from it. And I'm pretty sure that it's exclusively because of me using this car. I also forgot to use the nitros, my bad. Okay, well, at least that was a decent amount of points, plus the no damage. So that's good. But yeah, I mean, that's basically like what I've been saying, that this car just struggles a lot with slow corners. Like when it comes to a track like this with a lot of straights, it's not that big of a deal. Well, speaking of struggling, yeah, I say I will do them in order, and I will do them in order. But yeah, this thing, like, the other events look pretty free, but from here is when shit starts hitting the fan. Though the time attack, I guess, is the least offensive one, but it still has the issue of very slow corners, so this thing cannot really shine here. You might be asking, well, just use the GTR for this one, but I mean, even the GTR, like, even if it might do better in the corners, there is a very, well, it's not really a straight, it's more like a long, light corner, right, at the end, and that's essentially all the time that you might have gained on the slow corners, you lose it on that final sector. So I will say that that's not a good trade. At least Rudy Chen here is being held back by that guy. Now he's gonna be held back by me. I hope. Alright. We have the best lap time for now. It's not gonna last for too long though. But yeah, that's fine. I mean, the only reason why I got the lap time there is because Rudy Chen is constantly being cock-blocked, but the moment he's let loose, he does some serious stuff. Some real problems. Also, using the nitro here is a suicide. Maybe I could try using the nitro after a slow corner, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. Like, nitros don't usually work very well on low RPMs. Also, here I might be able to win no matter what, because as I said yesterday, I think in time attacks, the last lap does not count for anyone else that finishes behind you. Like, once I cross the finish line, the standings that you're seeing right now are the standings that will end up being the final standings, which means that I win. Which is very stupid, but hey, it works in my favor, so I'm not complaining. Okay, we got a victory on that. Well, that also was not a bad amount of points, I guess. But yeah, the issue is that here come the sector shootouts. Okay, so what's that insurance thing that I get? Like, what does that mean? How do I use it? So I certainly don't have an insurance right now. But yeah, as I say, the sector shootouts are the worst thing of this day. And I don't know how long they are gonna... Well, it's not about how long they take, it's about how many points they give me. Because even if you don't win, you can still get points. But will they be a significant amount? Usually they aren't. Because for what I understand, the points that you get here are exclusively the points that you actually get on the event, right? Like the sum of all the points you got from sectors. Well, and Rudy Chen is already doing his stuff, by the way. Hey, I'm basically not gonna pay attention to the points. I'm just gonna do my thing, and that's it. Just doing my thing, not a care in the world for anything else. I guess I know that these guys are... Ah, fuck. Nice. Well, that's the issue with not giving a care in the world, I guess. Didn't... Well, at least that way I use one of the markers I never use, you know. Might as well. Then, if it wasn't for the marker, you have to pay almost 200,000. Damn. That's quite a lot. That's a very big amount. Thankfully I didn't need to pay. I'm surprised that I still haven't gotten damage somehow. Okay, this is the part that I need to slow down, because the issue, I feel like that's also a problem of sector shootout. The whole point system makes you drive a lot more ruthlessly than you normally would. And in a truck like this and with a car like this, driving ruthlessly will end like that, obviously. And this asshole move out of the way already. I got some points that I already gotten beaten, but yeah. Basically my experience with this sector shootout is that I wasn't able to beat any of the records, despite the fact that I was very clearly in first place in terms of like distance, right? Like like I am right now, I am ahead of everyone, but that does not matter. I mean, it obviously don't matter in an event like this, but I'm just surprised that I'm somehow not making the sectors faster than anyone else. Like, that from a logical sense, like, doesn't make any sense. Like, there's something I'm missing there. Like, if I'm being the fastest one on the track, how is it possible that I'm not doing faster in any sector? Like, that doesn't seem to add up. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. But it is the thing that is happening here, and that already happened on my previous attempt. So I basically cannot get a single sector record, and yet I'm very ahead of everyone else. It's a very weird thing that I don't know, maybe it's bug, I don't know. I mean, I will be willing to expect anything from this shitfest of a game, but it doesn't make any sense. Because it's not like there are parts of the track that are not a part of any sector. Like, everything on the track is part of at least a sector. So there has to be something wrong, because otherwise I shouldn't be leading, you know? Like, not to mention that I'm leading by quite a lot. The second place is a very big distance behind me. But not an insane distance, mind you. Significant enough, and yet somehow these guys are ahead in points, and with the fact that they keep breaking their own records. So something is not right here. I really imagine that it has to do with it being a bug, because it has no logical sense. Maybe I'm a moron. I'm not saying I'm not. I probably am, but like what I'm witnessing here doesn't make any sense. Like, it's not possible that your car, being clearly the fastest one in the track, somehow cannot beat a single sector. Like, it just doesn't add up to me. But yeah, it is what it is. And this is the only thing that makes beating this event a problem. The issue is that I'm beating this event, I mean beating this day, this race day. Because you know that like every other day you can have, like, you can either win the event or you can dominate it. The problem is that you need to dominate it to unlock the king. So I don't even know why winning it is an option, like not like it matters. Also, yeah, something that happens at all times here is that two of the guys crash early, and then this Porsche just does his thing. Pretty nice, I guess. Pretty cool. So for example, that one, it's pretty clear that since I reduced my distance with the Porsche, that I did that sector faster than him. And yet according to the game I didn't. So I gotta assume that the points, just like maybe the target time in the previous event, is calculated depending on the car you're using. So maybe since the Sonda is very overpowered, like it gets significantly less points than other cars. It's the only logic I could think of, because otherwise it just doesn't make sense. So yeah, that's essentially my problem. If this was only races, it would not be a problem. In fact, I wouldn't have even needed to rely on a car like this one. I could have done it with the GTR, no problem. But yeah, the issue is that right now I need to... well, even trying to rely on this thing, it doesn't seem to be enough. See, the fact that that sector was somehow not the record makes no sense. It just makes no sense. Okay, that's the current situation and the reason why it's a problem. I got 1,000 points, very pathetic amount, but yeah, the issue is, well, I wanna try to see if my theory is correct about the target time. If I pick... Shame that it doesn't tell you the time that... Well, aside from the target time, it doesn't tell you how much time you took on that attempt. It only tells you the points, but it doesn't tell you your time. Because I want to compare it with the GTR here and see how many points I could get, or maybe I'm not gonna get, because maybe my theory is incorrect and simply using the GTR doesn't do shit, you know? That's what I'm here to see. The car choice, as you can see, is the same one. Not sure if it's gonna be the same one if you use a car of a lower tier, because you know that this Nissan GTR is tier 3 the same way as the Pagani Sonda is, right? But if I were to pick a tier 2 or tier 1 car, will I also get the same opponents? I don't know. Though the opponents here are only relevant to win, which is like, yeah, no shit, but I mean that like they are not precisely relevant for the points, since that depends on how fast you do the track. I mean, obviously it's relevant if you cannot win. If you cannot win, then yeah, you should change the car, but if you are able to win, oh shit, okay, that's fine, no worries. Yeah, that's okay, you don't need to worry about it. No, I don't really think, at least comparing it with this GTR, that the Sonda struggle that much with the corner. It's like, this one is also doing them quite slow, all things considered. And the target time right now, well, I wish I remember how the target time right now look for the Sonda, but I'm pretty sure it was probably below 10 seconds at this point, which will mean that I mean, unless I'm really somehow doing this faster with the GTR, which will be the case, but here it's the target time, the only useful point of reference that you have, because essentially the distance with the other opponents, considering that this is a multi-class race, is worthless. It's completely worthless. That was probably too early for the Nitro. Whatever. Right now, okay, here I have no doubts that the target time, like the amount of difference with the target time is way bigger with the GTR. Whether that is because the target time is lower or because I'm somehow doing this faster with the GTR, I don't know. But yeah. I wish I remember what time I did with the Sonda here. A part of me wants to say 3 minutes, but I think I'm also confusing it with another event, perhaps. I don't know. You know, like, parts like this, there is absolutely no way that the Sonda did them faster. Like, there is no way. Sorry, I meant to say that there is no way that the Sonda did them slower. I meant to say that there is no way this one does it faster than the Sonda. Because I remember the speed of the Sonda, you know? Like, my memory might be bad, but it's not that bad. And the Sonda here was going quite fast. It seems that I might be beating the target time by a whole minute, and that's gonna be a fat amount of bonus points. Shame about not having points for not crashing my car, I guess, but yeah. It's fine. I think at this point these cars are very used to take all the abuse they get, you know. I'm not sure if using the nitro here is a good idea. That's a very hard chicane here. I tried to take it very slowly, but it is still a pretty hard chicane. But it seems that the target time difference will be either 1 minute or very close to 1 minute, and that's definitely higher than with the Sonda. But as I say, there is no way that the Sonda did this slower. So it means that it has to be assigned depending on the track that you pick, which is extremely idiotic. Because, yeah, like, I'm pretty sure that the Sonda had a way lower target time here. But that's so stupid, not to mention extremely unintuitive. I don't know if the game mentions it at some point, but it's very, very dumb. So I can also get better points on here. Not on this one, most likely, but the issue are the sector shootouts at the end of the day. It's the one thing that prevents me from dominating this day. Man, at least let's try to get as many points as I can. And if the sector shootout still remains the same, then I guess that the only thing I can do is like try with a tier 1 or something. Well, and at this point also I was able to see how many points you get from the regular races, so next time that I do an attempt, if I cannot stay ahead in the sector shootout, then I already know that that attempt is not worth pursuing, right? And we can basically forget about that attempt. But yeah, the thing is that every time that you enter a race day, the progress resets to 0. So essentially you want to make sure that in between attempts you haven't done too much. In this case, since it's the first one, it is what it is. Well, the first one of the day, that is. So it seems that here the difference with the target time is also not very good at all. It's not gonna be 1 minute like in the previous one. In fact, I might not even get that many points from this at all. It's also weird how the previous race is 4 laps and this one is 3. Despite, I think, this being a shorter track, so... I mean, the real weird thing is the other one being 4 laps. There are almost no event with 4 laps in this game, so... that one just completely sticks out, you know? Whatever. I'm also having like quite a big difference of distance with the other guys right here. That wasn't a minute. I don't think it was a bad distance. Yeah, see, that's a good amount of points. But yeah, unfortunately you need 6,000 more. And yes, normally you will get those from the sector shootouts. But, well, that doesn't seem like it's mattering too much, because I mean, I will have to try it, but I don't see how I could pull this off. It just doesn't work. It seems at least that there's very clearly dynamic objectives depending on what car you're using. And I'm pretty sure that the points in the sector shootout are not any different. At the same time, these points are extremely messed up. Like, I just gotta assume that they are bugged at this point. Like, getting 400 points in that first sector is a little bit too much. This I got one sector, one that is most likely gonna get broken on the next lap anyways, but hey, at least I got one. It's something. I got a second one. Alright. I mean, the only problem here is that Rudy Chen is now on the lead, so you're not gonna stop him. I was gonna say you're not gonna stop him easily, but no, you're just not gonna stop him. Yeah, for example there, I got 400 something points on the first sector. I got it because it wasn't the first lap. The fact that thing is getting 400 on the first lap, which is what this Porsche did. Well, I don't know if it was the Porsche or someone else, but I think it was the Porsche. At least I still haven't broke my record in that third sector with the chicanes. So hey, at least I still have something to lose. Yeah, I keep the last two sectors somehow. Pretty cool. I mean, if I somehow manage to break the record of one of my two sectors and the other guys don't get any new sector, I might be able to win, but the issue is that I will need to use the nitro for the third sector, and like, that's precisely what's most likely gonna make me crash and basically lose the sector anyways. Right. Yeah, I crashed, but I did get the record. And I didn't get total. So now what I need is for them to not break the last sector record, and I will win somehow. It's what I don't understand. Like, I'm not doing this faster than the Sonda, and yet I actually won. Damn. Alright. I don't think that's enough points, is it? Like, I still need a little bit more, yeah, a little bit more, but just very little, 1,600. I sincerely don't understand the way this shit works. It's like, it makes no sense that, especially with this one, because with this one I could understand the excuse that the Sonda is slower on slow corners, but if I somehow manage to win this one with the GTR, it will make absolutely no sense, because it's a track for fast cars. Like, a track like that is undoubtedly faster with the Sonda. So if I manage to win this one, like, yeah, I don't know. We will see. It will be quite wild if this GTR ends up winning it for whatever reason, though. I guess it's also good that you will bear witness of how ridiculously inconsistent this game is when it comes to shit that uses a scoring. Fuck. Okay, that would have been a very hard hit. Also, how is it going, Sunshine? Well, yes, I'm still playing this game. My expectation is that today will be the final day, but, you know, that was my expectation yesterday as well. It doesn't matter. It will happen. I won't let the game beat me. That will be even worse than quitting it, because if I have quitted it after the first stream, I wouldn't care because I didn't do shit, right? So it wouldn't really hurt to stop playing it, because it's like, whatever, fuck this game. But after doing so much, it has to end. Yeah, I'm doing well. I mean, doing the same as always, you know? Nothing out of the ordinary. So how the hell did I get the third sector time? I don't know, but apparently I did. Ah, fuck. Should have. Well, I still thought I had the Sonda here, then, and I broke the record there. So yeah, like right now there is absolutely no doubt. There is no doubt that the points you get in the sector shootout fully depend on what car you pick and not in how fast you do it. Like right now it should be completely like out of any question. Like, it's obvious. There is no way this GTR is doing this faster than the Sonda. Like, the Sonda, basically that big ass corner that is in the top of the track layout, the Sonda was doing that pretty much flying, while this thing not only doesn't do it fast enough, but I also crash against the wall, and yet I still got the record of the first sector. So it's very clear that this mode does not work in a straightforward way. It fully depends on what car you're using, and it makes absolutely no sense. Or rather, you could say that it makes sense because it tries to give it a chance to like weaker cars. Sure, but where do you say that? Like, where exactly does the game tell you that? Like, maybe in the 100 of video tutorials that the game showed, maybe it did say that. But the problem is that that information dump is pretty hard to pay attention when it's so much shit in such a small amount of time. Not to mention that they don't really make the tutorials very engaging. They could make a video showing each thing, but It's just deaths plus the assholes talking in the background, you know? So yeah, this is not gonna be a win, but it's gonna be second place, and that should be enough points to actually dominate the day. That's absolutely nonsensical. Like, it's no wonder I wasn't able to dominate this day up until now. Because I was thinking that there was a solid logic behind these events, and there isn't. Clearly there isn't. I think you will like Project Gotham series. I already played the first one, Metropolis Street Racer. So yeah, now we're gonna be challenging the king right away. I will assume that beating the king is gonna be completely free. Then I got a Nitro Stage 4, I already have it, you know. So on top of all the bullshit you have to take into account for that, like to get the Stage 4 upgrades, you also have to take the fact that they could be repeated. Like on top of all the bullshit, right? That's crazy. Yeah, I know this. I don't need to read it. I am already aware. Okay. So yeah, same formation. Basically the Sonda and the GTR. Man, that's so fucked up what I just witnessed. Yeah, man, I got a lot of markers. Maybe the insurance thing that you unlock is what gives you the markers every time you start a day. Maybe it's that, like maybe you don't get them out of nowhere. It's possible. Alright. Oh, and it takes place on the same track, Willow Springs, so it says Willow Springs 2. The Revenge of Willow Springs. Hey, going back to what you say about Project Gotham. Wait, hold up, this is a cutscene. You almost ran her over. Okay, pretty cool. I'm obviously gonna beat your ass because you're gonna be a shover like every single king in this game. Like basically the hardest thing already happened, which was beating that Rudy guy. Or whatever the fuck his name was. Here it should be free to win this shit. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted multiple times. I was gonna say about Project Gotham. I played the first game on stream fully. I basically took me like 10 streams to beat it, but I did fully beat it. Called Metropolis Street Racer, as I say. Gotham Racing, the issue is that the first game is on the Xbox, and the Xbox emulator is liquid shit. That's the problem. Like, this is something that I already mentioned before, but I'm gonna mention it again. Like, Cemu is essentially the worst emulator in existence when it comes to popular consoles. If we're talking about popular consoles, Cemu is the worst garbage ever produced. So yeah. I can't believe this guy totaled his car on a regular race. I could understand this happening on a high-speed event, but on a regular race, this asshole totaled his car? Really? I can't believe this fucking game, dude. Like, I don't believe this game. Like, I find it hard to believe this game is real, and even harder time to believe that I'm playing it. And even harder to think that I'm actually going to 100% beating the career mode. Also, how is it going, Yannick? You did it? You totaled his car then. You know, Yannick, that the only reason why I was able to beat the Willow Spring Day, like before this King duel, is because apparently the sector shootouts Actually, I have multiple things to tell you. First of all, you see that target time, that is the one that ends up giving you a bonus at the end? Well, that target time changes depending on the car you pick. So here with the Sonda, basically the target time is a lot lower than it will be with the GTR, which means that if you use the GTR, you're gonna get more bonus points simply because the target time is longer, right? So that's one thing, which is extremely fucked up as it is, so that already should be enough, but no, it's not enough. I have something else to say. The sector shootout, you know that you're supposed to get points for the sectors, right? Depending on how fast you do them. Well, apparently the points you get also depend on the car. And the weaker the car you have, apparently the more points you get, even doing a slower time, which is basically the only reason why I was able to get points out of the 2 sector shootout events in the previous day. Well, in fact, one of them I even won it. The second one I got second place, which is still a lot. One of them I win simply because I used the GTR that gave me a lot more points than the Sonda, despite the Sonda clearly being faster. Can you believe that? Yeah, score banding, pretty much. Xenia runs Project Gotham Racing 3. Yeah, but the problem is that I like playing games from the first one to the last one. Well, the same way that I'm doing here with Need for Speed, you know? And that's essentially the problem. Actually, you know, I can show you right now with this sector shootout. So, you want to see it live, what I'm saying? You will see it live. So, I'm using the Sonda here, right? Well, this guy is a shover, so I might still win no matter what, but it might be very possible that I lose horribly here simply for using the Sonda. We will see. I mean, this Ray guy is a shover, so maybe he won't be able to win regardless, but we will see. Hey, maybe he will win. I don't know. I mean, so far it doesn't seem very believable that he will win, but hey, let's remain expectant. Maybe that means I can clear with shitboxes. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that maybe after all, your tier 1 challenge might not be that hard. Like, maybe you are actually gonna do it well. You know what was... Ah, fuck. Nice. You know what was the most ridiculous thing about the sector shootout? That... Well, you basically were yesterday when I was complaining about that, but... Like... You essentially can get in first place. Like, you essentially can be ahead of everyone and still not having dominated a single sector, even though that makes no logical sense. If it was only about time, you obviously will be the faster in at the very least one sector, right? Well, now it makes sense that it isn't the case, because with the GTR, I wasn't in first place. Like, with the GTR, I was very, very far behind the Porsche that was the one that was ahead of everyone. And I still, even with that in mind, I still got more points than with the Sonda that clearly left the Porsche behind. Can you believe that? I pretty much can't. But it's basically the current situation right now. It's basically the way it works. So yeah, essentially you might have a better chance at doing the tier 1 challenge. But then again, like, everything about the game is so little transparent that maybe it doesn't work in the way I think it works. The same way that, you know, the drift score makes no sense, well, neither does the sector shootout score. So maybe even the logic that I'm thinking doesn't really work that way. So yeah, unbelievable. Actually unbelievable, even more unbelievable that I beat this moron, but it's not really unbelievable. We already know the kings are shovers. At this point, getting surprise is useless. Also, another thing that I figured out is that apparently the reason why I get so many repair markers is because that, you remember that insurance thing that you can get as a reward? Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that that insurance thing is what allows you to get like markers every time you either end or start a day. I'm not sure exactly when it happens, but I think that that's the reason why I have so many markers. Also, by the way, this guy already crashed on the first corner. Please congratulate him. Please congratulate this king, because he dropped his crown, you know? This guy is a king. This guy is an absolute king, without a doubt. And that's crazy, dude. Absolutely crazy. Actually messed up. I really hope that once I beat this guy, it's not just that the credits roll, but there's actually a final event. I kinda doubt there's gonna be a final event. Like, everything seems to point out that after this it's over. But that lock in the career map makes me suspicious. Like, makes me think there is something else remaining, but I don't know, maybe, I mean, you already know how shitty the UI of this game is, so maybe that lock doesn't end anything, doesn't mean anything, or even worse, it's a bug. It could be, everything is possible, you know? Oh, and by the way, I didn't do any modification to any of these cars. Like, basically they are using, well, when I say modification, I mean I haven't done any tuning. Like, they obviously have all the stage 3 upgrades, well, and the aerodynamic shit that they need. Well, this one and the Nissan only have the auto-schooled body kits. Like, they don't have any other enhancer, right? So even though it's obviously far from only being the factory version of the cars, like, basically no tuning was required. Also, am I gonna lap this car? Why is he going so absurdly slow here? Is it because of the accident at the beginning that made him slow down to a crawl or what? And these are 4 laps. I might actually lap him. I will lap him. Like, it's no longer a supposition, it's a reality. This guy will get lapped. This guy will actually get lapped. That's... Damn. I'm speechless. I don't really know what to say. I mean, I already called him a shover multiple times like any other king. I already say this game sucks, fuck this game and all of that, so I'm not really sure what else I could say right now. Like, I'm about to lap a king. Well, no wonder I'm gonna lap him. Look at how he's driving. Seems that he cannot even stay on the asphalt. Well, so yeah, in case you have any doubts, Yannick, you can lap kings. Yeah, exactly. You can actually lap these guys. That's pretty wild. Pretty wild. I don't give a shit about the damage. Well, I guess I'm the grip king. So, I mean, if there's anything this guy was the grip king of, is grip of of digs. He grips dicks very well. Right. So what happens now? Like, is the game over? Or what? Do I go to a final event? I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, I'm the Grip King. And now... got the achievement. And now... yeah, got the car, sure. Alright, it says career domination, so I actually did beat it. I did defeat all kings. And so that's actually it, huh? I'm the street king. I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, yours... So, what is this lock? And this is an actual lock. I cannot enter this event. Actually, I cannot enter any of the king events. Huh. Well, that's awkward. So the events are there, but there's nothing you can do. Like, I mean, you can enter these regular events, but the boss fights, none of them work. And for some reason, the only one with a lock is the Rio one. Wild. Is this 100%? It is 100%. You see it right there. Damn. Yeah, Ryu is dead. I hope. Well, I guess that's it. I mean, the game doesn't even show you the credits. I guess I have to show them myself. Alright. Look, Yannick, what I'm about to say, you probably want to cover your ears because you're probably not gonna like what I'm gonna say. This game is fucking trash. This, if you ignore the very first Need for Speed game in the series, that was pretty much a tech demo, so you cannot really expect much from it. This is the worst Need for Speed game series. I cannot even tell because of how salty I am. It's the worst game in the series so far. It can still get worse. I haven't played some of the remaining ones, so it can always get worse. But for the time being, like when you count from Need for Speed 2 all the way to this one has been the worst in the series, and for multiple reasons. Like, first of all, the UI is trash. I guess that's a minor complaint because it technically doesn't affect the gameplay, but you want to talk about the gameplay? Let's talk about the gameplay. The game tries to be realistic with its handling and with its damage and with all of that garbage, when it's a fucking Need for Speed game, dude. Like, the only Need for Speed game that tried to be realistic was the first one, and no one remembers it because it fucking sucked. And then you have this game trying to do the same thing, but in a way that it's not even a simulator, because back then you can say that they didn't have the technology. But here, if you wanted to do a simulator, you could have, but instead you went from what some people call a simcade, but this is not even a simcade, because it doesn't even have simulator physics. It just has a damage model every time you crash, that's it. And basically, if you want to drive a car that doesn't drive like shit, you either have to get the GTR, which is basically the best car in the game apparently when it comes to handling, or you have to tweak, you have to tune as if you were like a professional driver. Well, not even a driver, like a professional team manager, because drivers usually don't tune their cars unless, I guess, they are amateurs and are by themselves, and I guess that's the point of the game. But like, I just think that all these things make the experience worse, like make the experience more annoying, more boring, more, you know, just shitty in general, and not to mention the repetition. the amount of shit this game repeats despite not having enough content to justify the repetition reminds me of Underground 2, but at least Underground 2 had a lot of things going for it, and it was also a very casual game. And you know that I didn't like Underground 2, but compared to Underground 2, or rather, compared to this game, Underground 2 is a masterpiece. Like, Underground 2 is an absolute masterpiece compared to this garbage. So, the point is that I didn't like this game. And, you know, that's fine because now it's over. But you know what worries me? Is that there are two games that I still haven't played that come after, not precisely right after this one, because the game after this one is Undercover, but comes after Undercover, which is Need for Speed Shift, and then there is a sequel to that game, Need for Speed Shift 2, that for what I remember of Shift 2, which was a game that I actually played a long time ago, like, this game is essentially a prototype to those games. So now I'm scared to play them, because I'm probably gonna hate them as much as I hate this one. I hope I won't, but those games are also supposed to be like this game that try to go for a more realistic approach. So I'm really, really scared about that. But yeah, we will see when the time comes. But yeah, what I can tell you is that this game is fucking shit. That's all I have to say. And you already heard me complain in the entirety of the playthrough, so you more or less know where my complaints come from. But yeah, here, to even add more fuel to the fire, you saw something like Sector Shootout also making no sense when it comes to how it counts the scoring, and yesterday we saw Drift also making no sense on how it counts the scoring. So on top of all the bullshit of the game trying to be realistic, causing most cars to drive like shit and being boring, repetitive and all of that, you also have to add into it the fact that winning in a lot of events is not something intuitive. It's not something that you immediately know how to do, because the game just has inner mechanics with score that are not really, you know, I don't know if properly explained. I mean, they clearly are not properly explained, but it's also the fact that even if you try to figure them out by yourself, you can't. Like, it's so unintuitive the way anything works. So yeah, I'm not sure what more to say. I guess I could mention the positive things. I mean, I like the car selection, like I guess in any Need for Speed game. I like the fact that I think this is the first game that uses real life tracks. Because I mean, Need for Speed 2 had Hollywood. I mean, that's not a real life track, it's a real life place, but that track doesn't exist, obviously. But these ones do exist, like Infineon, Willow Springs, and well, Autobahn. I don't know if it's actually based on the real Autobahn or if it's like inspired by it. Well, and also I think there is a Texas, the Texas Oval, right? There was in this game, I think. So you have real life tracks, which is cool, but unfortunately they are wasted on the piece of shit that is this game. They really are. And yeah, as I mentioned, both Shift games also have real life tracks, because as I say, they are very similar to this game in that regard. So again, that's the reason why I'm scared of what might come with those games. But look, at least this one is completely over. You know, like, we don't have to worry about playing this garbage ever again, because the career has been completed 100%, and there is no additional material in the game either. Like, differently from the previous two that have the challenge series, this one doesn't have that. I could double check just in case, but what you have is, like, you can play race days that you do yourself. Like, you basically choose what events you want, and that's it. Also, the credits haven't repeated yet, right? Because I have a feeling that they might have already repeated, and that I'm simply in a loop like a moron. Right, didn't they repeat? It's just that I didn't figure out if they repeated. Because here they are showing the music again, and this already happened. Right? I'm gonna wait until the music credits are done, but I think I actually repeated the credit twice like a fucking moron. That will be interesting. I don't know why they like credits that loop instead of just ending them when they end. Like, why would I want to watch them again, dude? Let me let me see. I want to see once the music is done, if it, because if it repeated, there was like no space between the end and the beginning, which makes it even more evil. It's like tries to make you think that they are still going, but in reality they are just repeating. So it should be over here. So yeah, I'm like, I remember seeing this, so they did repeat. Yeah, they did repeat, but hold up. Where is the end? And where is the beginning? I'm very curious. I can't believe that. There is no space between the ending and the beginning. They couldn't even do the fucking credits right. Like, the whole credits are just a whole stream of thing that doesn't stop, but like there is no way to easily see when they end because there is no space between the end and the beginning. Holy shit, dude. That's crazy. That is actually crazy. Well, anyways, let me save this shit. Well, there is no reason to save since it already auto-saves, but I guess just as a final save before saying goodbye. And yeah, as I say, the only thing that you have here is race days, which, you know, you can do custom shit, and obviously if you will do it online, you will do it online, but it's basically nothing important, like nothing that matters. So well, that's it for this game. I would like to say shishi, but there is no shishi. This is a bishi. It's a bad game. It's a shitty game. Eshi. So yeah, fuck this game, and I hope that at least the next one in the series, which is Undercover, is gonna be better. I really hope. So yeah, fuck this game.